we're about to do some serious digging. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Scott DIY, and in this video I'm going to be digging the footings for an A-frame building in Scotland. I'll explain how this has all come around. I've already been driving 2.5 hours and I've got another 2.5 hours to go to get to Scotland, and the place that I'm going to is Laura Clark's house. So Laura Clark, if you don't know who she is a TV architect. She's been on Netflix and BBC Two. I think the show was called Your Home Made Perfect. It's a show that I watched ages ago, way before I met Laura, but I met her at an event and she said she's got this really cool cabin build on at her house and would I like to be involved. So, of course, me being very excited about building anything, I said, of course, give me a shout and I'll arrange to get a JCB excavator up there and we'll do some digging, and that's exactly what's happened. So I've arranged for I think it's a 50Z, which is a 3.5 ton excavator to be delivered to Laura's house, and it's there already, and we're going to be doing some digging for the foundations. As you know, I've only used an excavator once before, and that was when I was digging up the driveway in my house, and I did manage to hit an old gas pipe. So I'm not the most experienced JCB operator, but I'm not a pro, but I'm always willing to give things a go, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go up to Laura's house, we're going to dig some footings, and we're just going to have some fun doing it as well. So let's get on with it.
This is where Laura plans to build her A-frame cabin, and doesn't the land look amazing? The area where Laura and I are stood is about 5 meters by 5 meters wide, which helps give you some scale of the enormous plot that we'll be working on. But before we can construct anything, there's a lot of landscaping that needs to be done.
It's the next morning and Laura put me up for the night, and we're here at the site where we're going to do all the digging with that beast behind me. So that's the 50Z.
5 ton.
Yeah, 5 ton. Okay, I said it was 3.5 ton.
No, 5 ton.
Okay.
So they get easier. The bigger they get easier. Little diggers are kind of like, oh, these big ones are so easy.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
Well, we'll see when I get in it. And there's, you can't see on this, but I'm going to put some footage up of the whole area. The whole place needs kind of ripping apart, let's just be honest. And there's a lot of work to do. So we're going to keep this like talking to camera quite short and just kind of capture just the day as it progresses and just see how it goes. And today we're ripping out all of this like vegetation and overgrown area, and then we're going to put some ground screws in, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, but we're going to get some ground screws in for what will be a big cabin build, which is going to be an A-frame, right?
Exactly.
And have you done all the drawings for this stuff?
I've done most of the drawings, but it's going to be beautiful. So it's quite small, but the side of it is going to open up. We've got some reclaimed double glazed units that we're going to weld together to make the whole side open up to the sunshine. It's going to be
Which
fantastic.
is literally unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't be here for that part of the project, unfortunately.
You'll come back.
Well, I can come back and I can get some footage as it goes, and we'll just basically just keep everyone up to date as the project progresses.
Definitely.
So
we've got 20 years of undergrowth that's grown over.
Undergrowth that's grown over, so now it's overgrowth. But yeah, so we'll get on with it. We'll start getting in the JCB and figuring out how that all works and just and give it our best shot. So let's get to it.
But before we could start, we had to find out how to get the new bucket onto the JCB, because having the right size is going to make this a lot easier.
We will have to go in there to get the tree out.
Oh yeah, totally. Right, yeah.
Is that bucket there high enough off the forward? Not too bad for a DIYer.
After spending what felt like most of the morning trying to figure out how to get the bucket onto the JCB and then getting the JCB into the area where we wanted to work, it was finally time to start digging the ground and removing the tree. Laura was very clear that she wanted to keep this tree and replant it somewhere else, so we had to be very gentle whilst removing it.
Nice! JCB, don't fire me, please. That's amazing.
With the tree safely removed, we could now start working on leveling the whole area. And if you're like me, you're going to want to know a little bit more about this 50Z2 compact excavator. So it's got a dig depth of 3.6 meters and a dump height of 4 meters. It's a big diesel monster, and it's got an operating weight of 5,000 kilogram, which is immense. But something you might not see on a spec sheet is just how comfortable it is to sit in the cabin of one of these excavators. It even has a Bluetooth radio, but personally I needed full concentration.
I love doing this so much. Oh, Emmy.
That's pro.
Have you done this before, Scott DIY?
Pro level excavating. That's what this is.
Look at that.
It's so much fun. People get paid for this. Is that the signal?
Gone, yeah. You can like echolocate.
There's a lot of freedom and choice that comes with having a property with this much land, which means Laura and her friends can let the kids run free, and they use this call to bring them back. So once the kids were found, we were able to start moving the soil into the positions where we wanted it. We'd removed all of the bushes, the trees, the leaves, the branches, and now we could get the ground as level as possible, ready to put the ground screws in. And I must say, even though the machine is great, it does take a lot of user skill to get the ground nice and flat. But there's a lot more excavation to be done. Laura wanted to create a whole new route into the area where the cabin is going to be. So we decided to swap out the smaller bucket for the much bigger one. And this JCB excavator has a really cool feature where you can swap the buckets over without even leaving the cab. It just takes a little bit of getting used to.
Here I am, just sat here whilst Laura's struggling. So we've been digging this morning and it's gone really well. Laura is clearly an expert. Didn't tell me about that at the beginning, but you know. Anyway, I have learned a lot as well, how to use this like big beast, and we've got the ground pretty much level here, and we've been kind of testing that with string and levels and just all sorts of different ways. We should have had a dumpy level with us.
I know, I don't have one.
I didn't have one either, but we should have, and that could have made things a bit easier. But we've got
I do most things by eye. Everything I do is by eye.
And everything's worked out till now, hasn't it? But yeah, so what's the next stage now? So we've kind of got it level. What are we going to do? You know, what's the...
So we're going to set out the ground screws. So rather than using concrete and cement, we're using ground screws. And these pins basically get literally screwed into the ground, and then we put the joists on top of those. So at the moment we're just setting them out, and they're all completely calculated so that we've got 4.2 length joists that will just sit on really, really nicely. No cutting, no waste. That's what we're going for.
Is there a reason why you're going for screws rather than doing footings?
Just no concrete.
Yeah.
And also it'd be quite nice to have this kind of thing that's almost kind of temporary. You could potentially take it away.
Yeah.
Nice. And it's just messy. Cement, you know?
Yeah, doing that. I suppose you got to get the truck up here. You got to tip it all in, level it all off. These do make things a lot easier. Well, I'll say they make it a lot easier.
I know. Well, we'll soon find out.
Yeah, let's see when we put a view in. Let's do it then. Yeah.
Brilliant.
We decided, whilst we had the excavator in the area, to tackle this forest, which is going to be part of the new access route to this area where the cabin is going to sit. Locked and loaded with the new bigger bucket and a new sense of confidence from using this machine all morning, I was pretty sure I was going to blitz this area. And this was a pretty eye-opening experience for me. Having only used hand tools in my own garden for my own projects, I didn't realise just how fast it could make a project go with the right machinery. So with the combination of the big bucket on the front and the bulldozer, the new pathway was done.
Before here there were so many, it was so overgrown with small trees, bushes, lots of this stuff, and that JCB right there has just cleared a pathway. So eventually this is going to be where cars can access the area, and there's going to be some hardcore or some gravel or something of the sort thrown down here, just so that it doesn't get too muddy and cars can get in and out. But we really have made a massive impact today. Strong.
So I got a D in my physics A level, but this is practical physics. If you turn this in there, you need a bit of leverage, and then it's easy. I don't know how it works, but it does. Run.
Easy work.
I love ground screws. My favourite thing.
I know, they're cool, aren't they?
Yeah. Physics, in it. That's what they call leverage. If they struggle to go down, apply a little bit of weight in the middle. Just a little. And it's easy. That's so good.
Ace. Day 2, and it's been a late start.
It's always a late start when you're with me.
I'm not really complaining because we had loads of coffee. We had a really nice breakfast. I had something called tatty scones.
Tatty scones.
Which are a big thing.
Scotland's best kept secret.
Yeah, they're really nice. If you haven't tried tatty scone, go for it. Anyway, we've eaten loads, drank a load of coffee, so we've got loads of energy, but then it started raining, so then we couldn't come outside, so we had to buy the gazebo behind us. Yeah, that's right. So today, I'm leaving a bit early, even though it's only day 2 of the project, but I'm a long way from home and I've got to get back home at some point. So today we're just going to try and get all of these screws in the ground and then try and get some of the timber in place. Are you confident?
Yes, very.
You think we'll do it?
The first ones will be going in very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I think it's like 20 minutes to screw, maybe even 10 minutes to screw. I've got full leather clubbed leopard print. It's almost embarrassing.
Yes, this is amazing. It's like full and the gloves. All you need is a hat. You're missing a hat.
True.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are on.
Fantastic.
Get a couple of timbers down.
A couple of timbers down. We've got to make sure all these screws are nice and level before we get the timbers down. We've got to work out how the plates go on top as well. All that's going to be really interesting, and we've just got to see how it goes, really, haven't we?
Definitely. It's a DIY project.
Yeah.
It's a DIY product. So we're kind of learning as we're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And kind of showing you
That's
without
it.
you having to kind of mess around. We're doing all the messing around so you can learn.
Fantastic. All right, let's do it. Listening to classical whilst laying ground screws in Glasgow. Laura doesn't like what the spirit level's saying, so she's hitting it.
We followed a very simple process to put these ground screws in place. We did the outsides first, which we measured very carefully, and then we used a string line to make sure that all of the others in the middle were in a straight line.
So we've got all the ground screws in and we're putting these plates on top. That's where the timber sits, and we're just going to put that on there like that. And this has some adjustments, so you can move it up and down if you're a few mil out on the height of these screws. And then this bracket is what gets the timber screwed in place. That sits on top like that. This screws into the metal, and then the timber is screwed in on the side. And that's it. We've done it. As a team, we've laid all of the ground screws. Give us a wave, Andy. Hey. So yeah, we got all the lines in, as you can see, got all the screws in. The main thing was making sure that all of the screws are level from one to the other, so you can do that all different ways, but now we've got them all level. We did have a couple that when they got quite deep in the earth, we hit something. It could have been a rock or some roots, but it really was difficult to get it in. That's why we used the drill at first to make a bit of a pilot hole, so we had something like to follow, and it would also break up anything hard in the ground. And now we're at the stage where we're putting these little, what are they called, spacers?
With the brackets.
The brackets. So what Laura's holding here.
But they're quite handy. These are adjustable as well, so we can kind of deal with any little height imperfections.
Yeah. So if we are a couple of mil out, which we will be, we can just adjust it with that there. And then the L bracket sits on top, and then the timber sits against the L bracket. And what we're going to do, for temporary, we're going to put some CT1 on the bottom of one of these L brackets so we can glue it in place. It's just going to help us when we put the timber on top, just to keep it in place before it's screwed. I think that's going to help us keep everything nice and square. Right, Laura, It's the end of the 2 days that I said I was going to help.
Yeah.
Are you happy with what we've done?
We've got all the ground screws in. I mean, I was thinking we'd get a couple of the A-frame bits up, but that's fine, it's fine. We've had a lot of coffee, we've had a lot of breakfast.
I remember you saying that yesterday we were going to get all of the screws in, but we didn't quite manage it.
I know. I'm an optimist
yes.
when it comes to construction,
and in
not
fact,
a realist.
We were having a conversation about this, being an optimist when it comes to doing these types of jobs, especially DIY projects, because it's very easy to get turned off at the idea of doing a project when you think, oh, it's going to take me 5 days and it's going to cost this much. Whereas when you're an optimist like me and Laura, you can say to yourself, oh, it'll take a day and it won't cost very much. And then you get into the project and that's kind of the thing that makes you finish it.
Yeah,
because
but the passion makes you finish it.
Well, because you're already into it then. So you've got to see it through, even though it always takes longer.
Yeah.
So are you happy with the help I've given?
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah. And Laura and I have really hit it off this last couple of days. I think we've done a really good job here. The JCB's really helped us out on it. Yeah. How good has that been?
We've not looked at my drawings once.
Honestly, it makes me feel like, imagine trying to do everything that we've done without the JCB. Like it would have taken we would still be digging away and cutting away at all the bushes. So yeah. It's a really amazing thing that we've had that, and we'll definitely be using them again on other projects.
And he's a pro on it now.
I am. I'm getting loads better. I am actually getting loads better. But if you've really enjoyed watching this YouTube video, it's a little bit different than what I normally do, but I do intend to make a few more videos like this, and hopefully we can come back and help Laura with the rest of the build. Maybe when we're building actually the sides of the A-frame, that'd be really cool. So we get kind of like the full process from start to finish. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.